Hi everyone, this is Ann Huffman, and in this tutorial I'm going to show you how to create a mock-up. And the first thing I'm going to do is go over here to my library, and I'm going to use this um, Krabby here, only because prior to this I tried to work with it and I ran into some hiccups, and so hopefully it'll happen again and I'll be able to show you what to do if that ever happens to you. And of course, this just happened to me again, which is great. Um, Let me give it a different color so you can see, or I guess I can just use this transparency. So you can see that the eyes are still sitting there, and I don't have an option for ungroup or release compound path. So I'm unsure as to what's going on with this. And I can't get in here to it to click on it. And I'll zoom in so that you can see what I'm talking about. So since I couldn't get to it that way, I'm just going to go ahead and go this route with it. Right click on it, and I'm going to make it a compound path. Now I can't align it to this because it was in such an awkward place. So I'm just going to have to eyeball it and hope that I have it where I want it. Now let me um, bring this transparency back up. And the same thing happened to me with, let me hold the shift key down and select both and group it. Same thing happened with the word Krabby. I can get these little pieces here now, um, but I can't, yes, I can get the rest of them. It won't let me get, yes, okay. So I guess before I added color to it, and it would not let me click on these little inner pieces along with the word in order to make it a compound path, which punches those out. And I'll click over here in black so you can see what's going on. So remember, do this before you give it color. Once you give it color, so you'll have to do what I did up here. But anyway, what I want to do is to show you how to create this mock-up. Now, I'm going to be reducing the size of this. Obviously, you would not be doing that. Let me zoom back out so you can see. I'm just going to move this over to the side for now because I need to find a shirt to put it on. If you don't have a shirt, then you're going to have to use one of these tools to kind of create a background for it. But I'm going to go to Google, and I Google t-shirt vector images, and I always say vector because it gives me a higher resolution. To make sure that I don't get small sizes, I'm going to click on tools, size, and I want large. So this way I already know, moving the cursor over it, I'm going to get a large size, and it's going to be a high resolution. And just looking at the shirts, and I made them red, so I guess I'll go with this one here. I'm so picky about what I use that end up spending probably way more time than what I actually need to with it. So I was looking for just a solid black. I can go back up here and under color say that I just want black and white, and see what else pops up here. Uh, this looks like it might work. And since it has a white background and not a transparent background, I'll be able to just right click on it and copy it and go back to silhouette and paste it in. Now we know that with most shirts from armpit to armpit is on average about 12 inches across the average. Now there's an awful lot of space that's going on in here that we really don't want, and I can do one of two things. I can, well, I thought I could convert to path on it, so I guess we'll do the very next best thing because I want to get rid of all of this other space so that when I size this t-shirt, it is going to be a whole lot closer to the dimensions, because right now this is saying that it's almost 10 inches wide, and we know that it truly is not. So in order to do that, I'm going to go ahead and trace it. And I'm going to say trace and detach. And what it did is it removed it. Let me click on this so you can see here. It removed it from that white background. That was 9.722. So I'm going to hit delete and go back here. And now you see it was really only 7 inches. So with this shirt, I'll hold my shift key down and I'll try. I mean, I guess it's better to leave it like this. I probably, for mine, I would go ahead and enlarge it till this area to this area, cover the whole screen. But this gives them a pretty decent idea of what it's going to look like. And so that means that I'm going to have to change my Krabby color here, because that black isn't going to show up on that. So I guess I'll get that. So that works. I can take this and it's on the bottom, and I'm going to say bring it to the front, or I guess I could take the shirt and send it to the back. Either way. So I'm positioning it here, and for this, I think the shirt is still there, so this will fit on it. So this just kind of shows them how I want it, where I want it to be. The only thing is I'm going to shrink this in just a little bit, because I want to be able to have enough room when I use the snipping tool. And that's just from my eyesight. So this is good to go. Now I'm going to use my snipping tool, and if you look in the bottom left hand side, where Cortana is, if you type in snipping tool, pops up. And I already have mine installed. And what I did at this point, when I saw it down here in my bottom taskbar, I just right clicked on it, and my option was pin to taskbar because it's already pinned. But we'll say new. And now I want to draw a box around it without getting that gray area on the side. So let's say that this is it. And so with this, now I need to save it. So I'm going to say save it. I'll save it to my desktop. I'll call it Krabby. And it saves as a PNG, and it's going to be a high resolution. And I'll say save. Now I need to go to my desktop. And I need to find Krabby. I'm sure you all probably see it, and I don't see it yet. So I'll just go over here and type it in my search bar and see. Okay, there you go. So with it selected, I'm going to right click on it. Excuse me. Um, and I'll click convert to Adobe PDF. I'm sure that that's what yours will say. If yours doesn't say that, then send it to, I'll do it two ways. I have Adobe installed. This is where you would install like Bull Zip. And what it's going to do is now give me a higher resolution. It came in at 112%, so I'm just going to make it a little bit smaller. So now I have something that I could send them. The only thing that I would have suggested is doing a watermark or something across from it, because if they change their mind and go with someone else, you just gave them a nice high-res image that they could get. And so that's I'm not going to save any changes to it. That's one way. The other way is to here's my print. Is to print and I'm not connected to a printer, and Windows has a built-in PDF. So when I say that I want to print, I can select these are my printers that I have, but I'm on my laptop, so nothing is connected. So I pick this one. There, I could pick Adobe PDF. This is where you would install whatever PDF printer you want, which is basically printing to a file, is what it is. Bullzip, Bullzip. People rave about the quality of the picture with it, but I'm going to say Microsoft Print to PDF. Um, I didn't look to see where it's sent. So let's see. It should prompt me, and I'm gonna name it Krabby 2. I don't want it in studio. I want to put it in desktop. Now I'm gonna have two of them sitting there, and there you go. So let's see, I forgot where my other one was saved to when it was over in PDF. So just remember to keep up with where yours saved, because a lot of times when you save something in PDF, it defaults to your download folder. I don't want everything in my download folder. I'm a messy desktop saver. But on this one here, when I click on this PDF, takes a minute for my viewer to pop up, but my viewer will pop. There you go. And so that's all that it is to saving it. So let me just go back here, and I want to type in, I don't want images, but this is what I was saying, full zip. PDF or PDF printer is going to take you to the same site. But I want all, I don't want images. And this is a site that you would go to, bullzip.com. And once you install it, it populates in the list of available printers for you. Now, back here, if I wanted to create a watermark, I mean, you could basically do whatever, you want for your watermark. People like to put their name or whatever it is. But I suggest that you put a watermark on it, or at least say, um, um, something pending. Pending sale. And I'm just throwing something in there to be able to show you what I mean by watermark. And this, and then let's ungroup it. And to put it here, let's go over to the transform, and let's go this way. Well, that went a bit more than what I wanted. Let me undo it and do 45. They can still see the design and what it's going to look like, but it makes it a tad bit harder for them to um, be able to just take all of your hard work and give it to um, someone else. And I'll put this here, and I'm holding the shift key down and shrinking it in some. And so with the word sale highlighted, I want to go back over here to page, not page, but palette. And I'm going to play with this transparency. and that color was not the best color to use. So let's find something like this to put on there. I mean, you'll find whatever color is going to work best for you, but it's like you have enough for them to see what's going on, but it's still sort of protecting all of the work that you just put into it. And so with this as is, just to recap again, in case some of you missed it the first time, I'm just going to say new for my snipping tool, and I'm going to snip this. And this snipping tool works in any program, Facebook, whatever, because it's a system tool. And I didn't want that line in there. Let's put new again. That's why I was concerned about the size of the shirt, only because you want it to not have any line around it. So I have this now, and I'm going to save it. My Krabby. Of course, this is going to replace it because you know I've already done it one time. Then I need to go over to Windows Explorer, is where I clicked on my Windows folder there. And I'm just going to right click on this, and because I have Adobe installed, that's what I would pick. Or, you know, print, Microsoft print, and it's going to do, and it's telling me where I want it. So Krabby again, and I think I called it number 2. Just replacing it. And now it's going to give me the PDF window. Well, it didn't go over to that. That's right, I chose print. So when I click on it, just give it a couple seconds, and then the PDF, because that's the PNG for right now. Now the PDF shows up. So that's how you do that. I hope that this